Thank you, Speedy. Well, there you have it. The Canberra Raiders with a much-needed win at home. They had struggled at GIO Stadium earlier in the season. No doubt the Ricky Stewart, the players and the fans will be loving that one. 26-12 over the Cowboys, who have been in red-hot form coming in. Of course, the Raiders with their origin stars back on deck. That's all we have time for this by now for the news.
Tonight, breaking news, the shock poll that could upend Australian politics. Shirtless and seeing red, an Australian tourist tears apart a cafe in Vietnam. The revolutionary test for breast cancer, helping millions of women to safely avoid chemotherapy. 1,000 Marilyn Monroes make history on what would have been the icon's 100th birthday. And it's taken 15 games, but the Dragons are finally back on the NRL winners list.
This is NBN News with Jane Goldsmith.
Good evening. We begin tonight with breaking news of a massive political disruption. A news poll released just moments ago reveals One Nation is now the most popular party in the country, leapfrogging Labor in primary support. For more, here's political editor Charles Croucher.
A new Redbridge poll for our colleagues at the Australian Financial Review shows One Nation is leading all parties for the first time. This poll, taken in the wake of the budget, shows Labor dropping 3 points. Pauline Hanson, the benefactor, with One Nation now on 31, just 1 in 5 respondents preferring the coalition. Two-party preferred Labor leads One Nation, but what was a 10-point gap is now just 2. Pauline Hanson already eyeing the top job as Labor looks to friends on the international. Stride for stride and side by side, American, British and Australian defence ministers in Singapore. The old allies charting a new direction for the partnership.
This signature project will see our countries operating at the highest level.
Agreeing to greater collaboration on underwater drones and weaponry for autonomous subs, and a change for the AUKUS agreement, with Australia to receive 3 used Virginia-class nuclear submarines from America, not the mix of old and new boats as first planned.
Mr. Miles went to Singapore to meet with his AUKUS partners, and he came back with a handful of second-hand subs on a promise from the United States.
Defence officials say this will make servicing and operations easier and significantly cheaper.
In the context of a very complicated endeavour, we need to place a premium on simplicity.
China's leadership didn't attend this year's dialogue in Singapore, but with wars still ravaging the Middle East and Ukraine, middle powers are praising the recent summit in Beijing, desperate to avoid regional wars becoming a world war.
When the great powers are talking with each other, the world feels safer. So, we very much welcome that gathering.
That's the expectation of our leadership is hey, we're starting a new chapter, which is more collaborative, and at the mill-to-mill level, our job is to make sure we facilitate that interaction as much as possible.
The AUKUS agreement will be part of Australia's defence strategy for decades to come. It means it will have to survive changes in the White House, in Downing Street and here in Canberra. And tonight, Pauline Hanson says she believes she can be that change.
I believe that I have the ability to do it. I'm not going to underestimate myself.
Charles Croucher, NBN News.
An Australian tourist is being questioned tonight by Vietnamese police after allegedly going on a rampage in a busy cafe. He's accused of causing thousands of dollars of damage in the city of Da Nang before being marched away by police in his underwear.
They say nothing good happens after midnight. And here's proof at this cafe in central Vietnam. An Australian man gets up from his chair, smashing a phone another customer was using to help translate for him. Staff say he proclaimed, "You have 10 seconds to leave." As diners dash, he's just getting started.
I know what you're doing. Anyone in this hotel, leave.
Using a chair as a battering ram, taking aim at the front counter and the coffee machine. The cafe's front windows are next. Anything he can pick up turns into a projectile. The The Australian Rifles threw the bags of customers who'd made a quick exit, turning one laptop into two frisbees. A group watches in horror from the second floor as the man heads for them next, kicking the door open before putting one man in a headlock. Police officers begin to assemble outside, preparing to breach. They rush in and round him up. The cafe forced to shut for up to 3 days, seeking compensation for a damage bill reportedly as high as $26,000. Tonight, the man remains in temporary detention for questioning. Helene Lambetsos, NBN News.
The difficult mission to rescue villagers trapped in a cave in Laos has tonight become even more dangerous, with heavy rain flooding the chambers. But rescuers believe they now know where the final two are stuck, thanks to the men who made it out alive.
Exhaustion, relief and joy. 4 men pull themselves from the darkness, collapsing on land after 12 days underground. Rescuers had just pulled the first survivor to safety, and while they were planning how to bring more to the surface, they emerged one by one after pumps drained flooded sections of the cave. But these men also brought something crucial out with them: information.
Having a map from the miners who were rescued yesterday, we now know that there's a passage beyond. It sounds like it's even tighter and more unpleasant.
And that's where South Australian diver Josh Richards and the team of rescuers believe the 2 missing villagers are trapped. Down a deadly passage, around 450 metres from the cave's entrance. They were among a group of 8 who entered the remote cave in search of gold.
From what we know, there is a significant air pocket that is considerably further on, another 100 metres or so, through fairly lethal passage. That the only place they could still be would be there.
But an already dangerous mission is becoming even more challenging. Heavy rain dumping on the cave site.
It sounds like potentially the flooding, the rainfall from yesterday has pushed the water line back up. We're potentially going to be heading in at some stage to try and support and try and search for these 2 missing miners.
And rescuers can't be sure they're still alive. The 5 already out are malnourished, treated by medical teams. A moment with their rescuers captured on camera. A race against the clock, with the world holding its breath.
A memorial service has been held for Bulahdelah firefighter John Baralowan. Family, friends and emergency service crews gathered to unveil a permanent memorial stone honouring his dedication and sacrifice. The 59-year-old was struck and killed by a falling tree while fighting the Bulahdelah bushfires last December. A small but vital emergency team on the Mid-North Coast is putting out an urgent call for reinforcements, from hunting down lost hikers to saving lives on regional roads. Dorrigo's SES unit desperately needs more boots on the ground.
It stands as one of the most unique patches in northern New South Wales, meaning the Dorrigo SES crew has to be ready for absolutely anything, including the time a rare heavy snowstorm blanketed the tablelands.
Ended up staying there for hours, rescuing people that were stuck with no snow chains, providing food, general assistance to the police and other emergency services there.
From navigating blizzards to searching for missing aircraft, lost bushwalkers and stranded farm animals, this versatile unit has been a regional lifeline since 1983. Peter Tarrant was one of the founding members and has spent more than 4 decades answering the call.
I enjoy it. I enjoy helping the community. I think that's what I'm doing, helping the community. It can be really enjoying and you get a bit of a thrill out of it sometimes.
But a decline in numbers is putting a strain on the crew.
We are still online for storm and water and land search and all of those other roles that we do. At the moment, we just need a bit of support for the road crash rescue.
New recruits receive ongoing training, including on-site practice for road crash rescue.
There are lots of other roles: catering, admin, data entry, looking after the equipment, repairs and maintenance, ordering stores.
Anyone interested in finding out more is encouraged to contact the SES. Alison Paul, NBN News.
Around 100 Coffs Harbour motorbike riders suited up for the annual Distinguished Gentleman's Ride today. The cruise brings classic and vintage bike enthusiasts together, raising funds and awareness for prostate cancer and men's mental health. After a relentless 2-week deluge, the rain has finally cleared in Port Macquarie just in time for a weekend turnaround. Blue skies brought the coastline back to life, sending eager locals and tourists flocking to the sand to soak up the last day of autumn.
From the water
So it's actually really nice.
to crowded cafe strips, Port Macquarie soaking up the last of the autumn warmth.
We are enjoying it immensely. We're going to go hit up the park and let this one run around like an absolute terror.
Blue skies, a relief for local businesses heavily impacted by a brutal fortnight of rain.
No tourist wants to get out in nature when it's bucking down and windy and that, so any of that tourist trade was kind of lost for the last 2 weeks, but we had the locals still having fun.
On those rainy days, we would do probably less than a third of what we would normally do.
Large swell and high tides have caused significant erosion and sand movement all along Town Beach, closing off some access points. Council are assessing the damage and they're asking the public to follow all signs and barriers in place.
We're really just waiting for some big south swells, just push some more sand around the corner and fill this beach back up, because we are probably missing I'd say about 6 foot of sand.
The downpours also triggering safety warnings over river runoff and shark activity.
Water quality's not too bad, but bottom to low tide, we're sort of seeing that worse quality of water. With the drones and everything, we haven't been seeing too many of them, and from what we sort of observe down here, they do tend to go north and they like to follow those sort of beach gutters.
Kate Parsons, NBN News.
Port Macquarie motorists are being warned to expect delays on Hastings River Drive, with night works kicking off tomorrow. The road will be closed from 6 p.m. to 5 a.m. Monday through to Thursday, with detours in place via Findlay Avenue and Widdowson Street. Crews are upgrading the area, replacing the existing zebra crossing with pedestrian-activated traffic lights. Port Macquarie's whale migration season is off to a spectacular start. Drone footage capturing this pod putting on a show for lucky onlookers near Tacking Point yesterday. A playful pod of dolphins also joined in on the action. A Moree fashion designer has taken the national stage by storm, opening Australian Fashion Week. Colleen Ty-Johnson's collection deeply inspired by the landscapes and rich culture of northern New South Wales.
From Moree to Australia's biggest runway. Colleen Ty-Johnson kicking off Australian Fashion Week earlier this month in Sydney.
It's about showcasing the land, the river, the waters.
A proud Gomeroi woman, Colleen's latest collection, Love from Gamilarey, is inspired by the northwest landscape.
So I don't follow a colour palette. My colour palette is what's on country.
Featuring fabrics printed with motifs created by Gomeroi artists. The fashion label came to be in Moree, where Colleen started a youth development program.
They did their artwork, and then we put it on. Back then it was screen printing, and we put it on theatre gowns that they wore on the night.
That collection became Bulloy Miri, taking her designs from her home in Tamworth to New York and Europe.
Bulloy Miri on the red carpet on the opening of the Cannes Film Festival. You can't beat Sydney though.
Her biggest inspiration, her grandmother.
Just watching my grandmother sewing on an old singing machine and cutting patterns out around people, not even on a dummy.
Her recent runway paving the way for future First Nations creatives.
First Nations have a place in fashion, and we got to showcase that.
Molly Matthews, NBN News.
And looking at the weather now for the North Coast, mostly fine today, a top of 21 degrees in Port Macquarie, 7 to 21 the range at Coffs Harbour, 23 at Coolin. You're watching NBN News. Still ahead. Hold my beer. Pub patrons scramble to help as a bus goes up in flames on Sydney's North Shore. Celebrations turn to chaos as riots erupt in the wake of the Champions League final in Paris. The Hunter parents are asking for your help to amend a law to honour their son. And a 21-year-old's axe attack nightmare in a moment of road rage madness.
So you're planning a trip overseas. You've saved the reels, dropped the pins, found the flight, booked the room. I'll stay high. Checked your passport? Top pocket. But do you know if your medication is legal where you're going? Or if drinking alcohol affects your travel insurance? Or what if you get pickpocketed? Get official advice, essential warnings, and important tips at smarttraveller.gov.au and know before you go. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
When you need urgent medical care, but it's not life-threatening, that's a case for a bulk-billed walk-in Medicare Urgent Care Clinic. Find locations and opening hours at health.gov.au/Medicare UCC. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Nice! Every new Rawson home is built to the highest standard, with a team of experts guiding you every step of the way.
So they take you under their wing? Huh?
Oh dear. And with a lifetime structural guarantee, you know it's built to last.
Putting it to the test there, Cookie.
You can be confident you'll build better together with Rawson Homes.
Hungry Jack's new Rib Deluxe burger is calling, so hop, skip and jump to get your hands on 2 flame-grilled Aussie beef patties, real off-the-bone beef ribs and barbecue sauce. Launch into the Rib Deluxe. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
Could be Blower.
This Origin, GIO is going blue for the Blues. GIO, great insurance and proud partner of the Blues, obviously.
My oven needs to stay at an exact even temperature to make this sponge cake rise. So what happens if I switch to a cheaper energy provider in the middle of baking? I'll tell you what would happen. Nada, zilch, zero, nothing, diddly squat. Your energy supply doesn't change. Only your provider does. My sponge cake will keep rising, but my energy costs won't. Search Compare Energy to see if iSelect can help you save more.
It's a sobering reality dealing with cancer.
Cancer really does suck. So I told everyone that if I raised $5,000, I'd get a tattoo that said cancer. My friends in particular saw it as an opportunity to stitch me up. This is why I Dry July.
Go dry this July and raise money for cancer support. Sign up now at dryjuly.com.
To support kids and families experiencing bullying, giving them the vital support they need to feel safe and heard. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. Donate to help end bullying at dollysdream.org.au.
A bus with passengers on board has erupted in flames on a busy road in Sydney's North Shore. A family at a local restaurant noticed it smoking, warning the driver just in time.
A ferocious roadblock as a public bus erupts in flames on River Road West at Longueville. A driver and 4 passengers on board the 261 before 7 last night when the back of the bus started smoking. Diners at local club The Diddy taking notice.
Family got up, started running, jumped over the fence. It was just a thin line of smoke, alerting the bus driver to get out of the bus. Bus driver hopped out and then the back of the bus just blew up in flames.
Those on board escaping just in time.
We offered them help or any assistance, but they were okay.
The whole back of the bus was on fire, flames going up the side. Looked pretty spectacular.
The kids were freaking out. These pops that were coming from the bus, they hurt your ears.
Nico James, working at the Diddy at the time, packed with families.
I had to usher them away from the fence because at this point the thing was exploding. We didn't know how much bigger it was going to get, if shrapnel was going to go flying.
Patrons spilling out onto the road. One local taking matters into his own hands.
I think they very quickly realised it wasn't going to do much.
But the professionals managed to quickly bring it under control. The back of the bus melting away, windows blown out, leaving a blackened mess.
The diesel bus was taken from here back to the Ryde depot where it's being examined by transport authorities. The cause of the blaze still under investigation.
Annalise Bolt, NBN News.
Celebrations have turned to chaos in the City of Lights. At least 280 people have been arrested in Paris as riots erupted after their Champions League final win. Flares and fireworks were detonated in the streets, officers deploying tear gas in response. According to new court documents, Buckingham Palace may have been aware Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was leaking confidential information while he was a government trade envoy. 30,000 emails were handed to the royal household's most senior officer in 2020, and there are reports some of the correspondence contained information about the former prince's financial dealings. A major river has burst its banks in Syria, the resulting floods destroying roads and causing a bridge to collapse, forcing residents to cross in small boats. More than 500 hectares is now underwater, with more than 1,000 people fleeing their homes. 30 runaway horses have galloped down the streets of Rome, dodging cars and motorbikes, leaving 4 people injured. The animals were gathered nearby for a parade rehearsal. It's believed fireworks exploding nearby spooked them. Yet another Kanye West show has been cancelled over his history of anti-Semitic remarks. Italy is the latest country to bar the rapper from performing, authorities citing public order and security concerns, saying they received a request from the local Jewish community. A 21-year-old tradie has relived his road rage nightmare after surviving an axe attack following a minor crash in Melbourne's southeast. He says he's lucky to be alive, but now has to cope with the mental and physical scars from the attack.
He was on his way to see a mate, but this young tradie instead came close to death.
On the scene, I was definitely dying. I was getting cold and, my eyes were starting to shut.
The horror road rage attack unfolded after an erratic driver collided with Rico's car in Cranbourne. The 21-year-old copped an axe to the back twice.
Pretty much got out of the car, and he got out at the same time with an axe, and I just started running.
His injuries so severe, his surgeon says he's lucky to be alive.
It was a very violent attack for something that was very minor.
While he's out of hospital, he's still carrying the scars of the nightmare ordeal.
It's been very hard. You see your brother is very bright, very outgoing, and then for it to be taken away from him.
They feel helpless and are desperate for support.
A victim assistance program, I've been trying to reach out to them since the hospital, so maybe 5 weeks now.
The government's failing the victims. He didn't ask this to happen to him. They're failing.
His alleged attacker was arrested but later released. Meanwhile, Rico will be unable to work for months.
It's an everyday struggle, yeah.
A moment of rage, leaving behind deep trauma.
An e-petition calling for tougher penalties for those who leave the scene of a crash still needs another 5,000 signatures. 14-year-old Bryson Domovsky was riding his e-scooter at Warners Bay in 2023 when he was fatally struck by a car. The driver was jailed for a non-parole period of 3 years and 3 months. Bryson's family set up the petition calling for law reform. It needs a total of 20,000 signatures to be considered and just takes seconds to complete on the state government's website. Lauren Kempe joins us now for a quick look at the weather. And Lauren, winter is almost here.
It's certainly starting to feel that way, Jane. Lovely cool temperatures settling in after the latest big downpour over eastern Australia. We saw skies clear across most of our region today as cooler air filtered in. And we can expect the stable conditions to continue for at least the next few days before a powerful low heads towards us later in the week. It'll be foggy inland to start the day tomorrow before reaching daytime maximums right across our region of 19 degrees in Port Macquarie, 15 the top in Tamworth, and 18 in Newcastle. And Jane, I'll have some more details a little later.
See you then. Thank you, Lauren. Coming up next, Punch Up chaos erupts at a country concert in Queensland. The major breast cancer discovery sparing millions of women chemotherapy. Think your savings are safe? Think again. Money editor Effie Zahos explains the tricks to protecting your cash from taxes and inflation. Plus, 1,000 Marilyn Monroes make history on what would have been the icon's 100th birthday.
new Rawson home is built with a team of experts, guiding you every step of the way.
So they take you under their wing? Huh?
Built better together with Rawson Homes. Puff after puff of harmful stuff. The damaging effects of vaping can creep up on you. Quitting can be hard, but possible with support on your side. Find tools and support to quit. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
I earn when I want stuff sorted. Like Rego.
Sweet.
And a new gearbox.
Here we are. You're one of the greatest MMA middleweights of all time. Come out of retirement, fight the world champion, or else we burn down your world. I can win! That's the way, boy. Now comes the fun. Beast premieres June 4, only on Stan.
Sore throat? Trust Strepsils Extra for soothing relief that's scientifically formulated. With triple action to numb pain fast, help fight bacteria and soothe the throat. Strepsils. Own every moment. Backing local jobs, our economy, and the way we live begins with buying Australian. Australian made right here.
Queensland's biggest outdoor event, the Let's Go Queensland Caravan and Camping Super Show, is on at the Brisbane Showgrounds June 3 to 7. Caravans, camper trailers, motorhomes, gadgets and more at bargain show prices. This is your opportunity to get away in your new RV. And check this out. Someone will win an $86,000 luxury hilltop caravan. Will it be you? The Let's Go Queensland Caravan and Camping Super Show, Brisbane Showgrounds June 3 to 7. Buy your tickets now at caravanqld.com.au.
For over 100 years, Somerville Laundry Lomax has been providing legal support to individuals, families and businesses. When you need someone who'll stand beside you, turn to the team trusted by generations. Somerville Laundry Lomax, for all matters when it matters most.
A country music star's show was disrupted by an all-in brawl in Brisbane last night. Revellers in the mosh pit at Morgan Evans's concert starting the punch-on, security making it through the crowd to break up the fight. A man has been arrested, though no charges have been laid. A groundbreaking new test could spare millions of breast cancer patients the physical and emotional stress of chemotherapy. Australian researchers are part of a global trial steering some women towards a more gentle but equally effective treatment option.
Cherie Pagano knows all too well the terror of a cancer diagnosis, and for many the treatment can be just as scary.
It was very daunting.
The 60-year-old who runs a vintage audio store in Sydney was diagnosed with breast cancer last year.
I said to my husband at the time, before I got the go-ahead for the trial, if I'm convinced I'm going to have chemo.
And then she was steered another way.
There's actually a gene test that you can do on someone's cancer sample. And that's actually checking 50 genes in that cancer.
The global trial involving Australian researchers identifies who can be safely treated with just hormone therapy tablets and dodge the worst effects of chemo.
Hair loss, another thing is sort of nerve damage, tiredness, and also just the disruption to your life.
I went, oh wow, great, I get to keep my hair.
Almost 4,500 people took part in the study. The tests found more than 2/3 wouldn't benefit from chemotherapy. Results from 5 years later show those who only did the hormone therapy and those who also did chemo had very similar outcomes.
I got the all clear a couple of weeks ago that there's no cancer has come back at this stage. So I'm back in the shop.
Right now, the trial is limited to breast cancer patients over the age of 40, but the aim is to hopefully expand.
I'm hoping in the future that we do get funding for one of these tests so that we can offer it to everybody.
If you have the chance, ask, is there anything else out there?
Helene Lambetsos, NBN News.
The brother of Neil Danaher has carried on his legacy at Geelong's Big Freeze event. Former bomber Terry Danaher earning the biggest cheer of all sliders a week after losing the former Australian of the Year to motor neurone disease.
We all thought that Neil would go on and just keep going on, but unfortunately, as hard as it is to say, he's another statistic. Hopefully, we can beat the beast, sooner rather than later, because it's still knocking people over.
Current and former Cats also took the plunge, along with Olympic sprinter Mia Gross. The silver lining of rising interest rates is meant to be better deals for savers, but with inflation and taxes eating away at your hard-earned cash, money editor Effie Zahos reveals how to stop your savings from shrinking in this week's Money Minute.
Inflation is now 4.2%. That means $10,000 in the bank loses about $420 in purchasing power over a year. To cover inflation and the tax on your interest, your savings need to return more than you think. Here's what you should be targeting. On a $40,000 a year income, the interest rate on your savings needs to be just over 5%. On a $100,000 income, closer to 6.2%. And on $150,000, you need almost 7%. That's just to stand still, not get ahead. The best offer in the market now is 5.75%. But even that's a bonus rate, only available to 18 to 40-year-olds that require you to jump through hoops each month. Fail to meet the conditions and it drops to 0.1%. The reality is saving money in the bank is safe, but it's really working for the bank. If you have a mortgage, your best bet is to park surplus cash in an offset of redraw. You effectively earn your higher mortgage interest rate tax-free. Otherwise, you'll have to take more risk, which leaves you with shares, ETFs, or the tax advantage of super.
Some of Australia's best female sailors have gathered in Lake Macquarie to encourage more women and girls to take up the sport. The Sail Our Way event is all about giving audience members the chance to hear how some of the best in the sport have navigated the rise to the top. Among the speakers, state and world champions looking to inspire budding sailors to take their next step.
We have a pathway that goes right from when you're 6 right up to when you're 106. We want everybody here.
Belmont's Sarah Hoffman is currently training for the 2028 Olympics as a member of the Australian sailing squad. An Aussie native has flown the coop in the US, an emu spotted barrelling down the road in the state of Maryland. Police pursued the bird for 3 hours before they managed to corral and catch it, reuniting the animal with its owner. From the platinum blonde to that iconic white dress, Hollywood's ultimate bombshell is being celebrated on what would have been her 100th birthday. Marilyn Monroe fans and lookalikes coming together in California's Palm Springs in a glamorous bid to make history.
Under a blazing desert sun, more than 1,000 Marilyns. And a new world record on what would have been the Hollywood icon's 100th birthday.
Knockers up!
And it's hot, ladies. Are you hoping for a bit of a breeze?
Well, hopefully not, because you don't know what I have under here.
The most Marilyn Monroe lookalikes gathered in the same place. A grand total of 1,034 wigs sold out citywide.
You look gorgeous. Thank you. I feel gorgeous.
The location, Palm Springs, the glamorous oasis north of Los Angeles, and a favourite of the movie stars, smashing the previous record set in Brighton, South Australia, 6 years ago. 254 Marilyns.
You guys are going to get clean.
No! In the end, it wasn't even a contest. I mean, look at all of those Marilyns. But you know what? That's okay. It's hard to compete. It is Palm Springs, after all. We'll have to beat you next year, maybe. Good luck. Reed Butler, NBN News.
Adam Murray is here with Sport now, and the Dragons' drought is finally over, Adam.
Good evening, Jane. It sure is, and it came against the reigning premiers in Brisbane. Coming up, how the Red V snapped a 15-game, 295-day losing run on arguably the NRL's toughest stage. Also ahead, Appy Corus and Australia left in a spin in the subcontinent.
How do you pick a pick-me-up? Do you pick a lick?
The Aussies are playing. We're going to need more Smiths.
Smiths? In Miami?
Come with me.
We cannot go in there. It's too packed.
Hi, how you doing?
We're having an awesome viewing party, and if you have Smiths, you can come with us.
How are you?
Bonjour. Chips?
Nope.
No Smiths, no game.
They've got it. They've got Smith.
We do. Nice to meet you. Welcome. Grab the door.
Buenas.
It's the best and the worst thing all at once.
So your boyfriend? Are these guys bothering you?
Why do you care? We're family now. You messed up my life. Don't talk like you're better than me, not after what you did. I hate everything about you. You need to see what life is like without his light blind in your eyes.
I've just been 1.5 billion years into the future, and I'm still paying too much for my car and home insurance.
Or you could alter your future by switching to Budget Direct. After all, they've paid out over $1.5 billion on claims in the last 12 months. Do yourself a favour. Quote with Budget Direct first.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
People are starved for the truth.
The human race cannot accept what we know.
From Steven Spielberg.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
If you do this, there's no undoing it.
That's the plan. 3, 2, 1.
This is Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day. Only in cinemas June 11.
Puff after puff of harmful stuff. The damaging effects of vaping can creep up on you. Quitting can be hard, but possible with support on your side. Find tools and support to quit. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Got a list of jobs that only a Polaris can handle? Get on it with the Polaris end of financial year sale. Score very handy discounts on Polaris Ranger models, the work-ready Pro XD, and the adaptable Expedition models. The Polaris end of financial year sale. Get on it at your local Polaris dealer. Polaris, think outside.
It's the 40 Winks end of financial year sale. Up to 50% off mattresses and up to 30% off furniture, plus an extra 10% off selected products. Shop online or head in store today. Limited time only. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks. Serious about sleep.
It's taken 295 days and 15 games, but the Dragons are finally back on the NRL winners list. St George Illawarra stunning Premiers Brisbane 30-26, vowing this is the start of their road to redemption.
Delight for the Dragons, their long drought finally over.
The Dragons celebrate victory.
Yeah, I'm wrapped, stoked for all the boys, all the staff, all the fans that have been waiting so long. So, yeah, I'm really happy.
The Red V raced out of the blocks in Brisbane.
Offloads and diving in, Valentine Holmes.
Suncorp Stadium silenced, the visitors looking like a whole new team.
Atkinson gets there first.
The Dragons definitely had some luck.
Valentine Holmes puts it down under the crossbar.
But
another Dragons try.
St George Illawarra up 30-8 with 11 minutes to go when the Broncos launched their fight back.
Flat for Wilson, there's another one.
3 tries ensuring some nervous final moments for Dragons fans and players, but the Red V held on by 4 points, tasting victory for the first time since August last year.
I couldn't watch the last 6 minutes there. I thought we were there. I was in the sheds in the toilet where I couldn't hear the crowd and come out with 10 seconds to go. So, mate, I just want to get in there, sit around and have a beer with each other and just enjoy it.
Obviously, haven't been getting any wins, but still turning up every week trying to get better. And, you know, tonight we deserve that.
It wasn't just like any old team. It was the premiers from last year. So it's going to give us a lot of confidence going into next week against Sharks, but for the rest of the year.
Clint Gutherson finished the game early with a calf strain, while an ankle injury to Pat Carrigan has put him under a cloud for Origin 2.
Happy Coruscant is in the box seat for a Blues recall, returning from suspension to help the Tigers snap a 3-game losing streak, 22-16 over the Bulldogs. The loss stinging Canterbury, coach Cameron Ciraldo frustrated by some questionable calls.
Benji Marshall's side no longer lacking Buller's brilliance or Api Coruscant's leadership.
Your spine's sort of an extension of the coach, and when he plays, he gets it out there and executes what we need.
The Blues need a new dummy half after Blake Brayley was ruled out of Origin 2 with a broken arm.
Yeah, of course. If they need me on there, I just want to say shout out to Brails as well. You know, he did so much to deserve that spot, and it's really unfortunate. Footy's a bit of a cruel game sometimes.
Marshall admitting the Tigers had luck on their side.
It's probably a try, to be honest. I thought I like that we're protecting kickers, but I thought we dodged a bullet there.
Minutes later.
What's worse? Someone touching your foot or someone taking out your fullback and they score a try? You're talking about they go against us time after time after time. Our guys just get on with their job and keep playing tough and representing this club.
Trent Robinson didn't sugarcoat the Roosters' second straight loss, 18-4 to the Storm.
Really poor, real lack of respect for the harder parts of the game, lack of respect for the ball and how you should play the game. And so we get the result we deserve.
Samantha Pote, NBN News.
Dan McKellar remains confident he's the right man to lead the Waratahs, despite the club missing finals for a third straight season. The Tars campaign ending with a 9th loss of the year, falling 31-25 to the Western Force.
I'm in this for the long haul, and we'll enjoy a beer together and reflect on the season, and then I'll quickly get to work around turning things around for 27.
The Reds and Brumbies are the Australian sides to qualify for the Super Rugby Finals. Clayton Oliver has claimed bragging rights over his former Melbourne teammates, with the Giants delivering a statement 49-point win in Alice Springs. It's back-to-back wins for GWS for the first time this season, lifting them back into the wildcard spots for the first time since round 1. Captain Toby Green led from the front with a 3-goal haul. The Swifts have held off a spirited Firebirds comeback to secure a 68-62 victory at Ken Rosewall Arena. The win is their 5th of the season and keeps their slim Super Netball Finals hopes alive. Australia's cricketers have been dazed by a debutant 21-year-old Pakistan spinner Arafat Minhas, taking 5 for 32 in his first match as the Aussies were bowled out for 200 in the opening one-dayer. That target easily chased down by the host, who cruised to a victory with 5 wickets and 6 overs to spare.
The Pakistani spinners always quality. Not surprising to see someone come in and do really well.
Game 2 of the 3-match series is on Tuesday. After the break, the Socceroos lose their World Cup warm-up to Mexico, plus on top of the world one week, heartbroken the next, as Arsenal slips up in the Champions League decider.
I know I don't always show it, but winning does excite me. So, when I see a chance to get ahead, I will change things up. I mean, why would you want anything less than the best? It's why I switched to Google Pixel. Gemini, help me come up with a race win speech that sounds like it came from me.
You'd say something like, thanks.
Perfect.
And now you can be an expert barista at home.
Bellissima! And now, from grinding beans to counting beans, let's meet our next real UE customer, Jess.
Hi, Ed. Yes, I saved $649 by switching my car insurance to UE. That's better.
Oh, I bet it was sweeter with those savings.
It was quite a rush.
Aha, or is it the triple mocha cappuccino? Shop around, try UE. Oh, buongiorno, ragazzi. I'm going for a run.
UE, you insured. Sweet drip bubble fizz. Strawberries and cream. Sweet drip bubble fizz. Strawberries and cream. New Pepsi Max. Strawberries and cream.
Or else we burn down your world. Sergeant Wayne! No, that's the way, boy. Now comes the fun.
Beast premieres June 4, only on Stan.
Health insurance costs causing blood pressure to soar, yet some still not comparing.
Sir, why not take pressure down by switching and saving? Comparison is best medicine.
It pays to compare.
Simples.
Are we home yet? Are we home yet?
Do we have a home yet?
Tonight, thousands of Australian families are facing homelessness. You can be the hope people need. Please donate to the Salvation Army's Red Shield appeal today.
Lots is great. Just finito bearing it. Perfecto.
Perfecto. Wherever you call home.
Oh, Wolfie, oh, you're so squishy. I love you.
It's a big responsibility.
Yes, you are big.
Your heart and your head don't always agree.
Oh, okay, it's a good deal. Boring, yes.
I love it.
Let's make an offer. Oh, let's think this through.
But there's one thing they can agree on. With local expertise, great rates, plus a highly rated app, Newcastle Permanent is good for your head and good for your heart.
This report brought to you by Somerville Laundry Lomax for all matters when it matters most.
The Socceroos have plenty to work on 2 weeks out from their World Cup opener, falling to Mexico in a friendly. Few players stood out to coach Tony Popovich, who has to name his final squad tomorrow.
Glimmers of gold amidst a sea of green, the Socceroos taking on Mexico on hostile turf. California's Rose Bowl Stadium full to the brim with those barracking for the team from south of the border. They were on their feet midway through the first half.
Delivery with pace again. Good header off the post and in.
Mexico opening the scoring from a corner, and that was the only goal of the game. The Socceroos certainly had their chances.
Oh, the mistake, and Moture! He's put it wide. He won't get an easier chance to score in North America this summer.
Moture blowing the best of them with the goal wide open. Disappointment for Australia, who have just a fortnight to fix things before the World Cup kicks off.
We'll learn a lot. We'll grow from this.
This match was the final audition for Popovich's 26-man team, which will be announced in the next 24 hours. From here, the team flies north to Oakland, near San Francisco, where they'll start settling into what will be their base camp for this World Cup campaign.
We have to build on that. Next week, another good hit out against Switzerland, and then I'm sure the boys will be ready to go against Turkey.
For these LA-based Aussies, the score and the fact they were severely outnumbered didn't matter.
Look, we're patriotic. We've got to be here for the Roos, you know.
Simply relishing the rare chance to cheer on their home side. In the United States, Lily Greer, NBN News.
Paris Saint-Germain are kings of Europe again. Early lead before PSG equalised in the second half, and 1-1 was how it stayed, until the match went to a penalty shootout. Arsenal defender Gabriel sending his spot kick up. Another example of just how ruthless the Premier League can be, Liverpool sacking manager Arne Slot. Only 12 months after he took the Reds to the title, and finishing 5th. Clearly not good enough for the club's bosses. Another big name has crumbled on clay at the French Open, defending women's champion Coco Gauff out in the third round, defeated by 28th seed Anastasia Potapova in 3 sets. No trouble for world number 1 Ariana Sabalenka. She powered past Aussie Daria Kazatkina 6-love, 7-5, leaving Australia without any players left in the singles. Strong winds on the Hudson River disrupted the opening day of the New York Sail GP. Only 4 boats were launched due to the conditions, but in the end, only 3 raced, with the Flying Roos nosediving in the warm-up.
We're fortunate that this has happened on a day where it's not going to hurt too much. Some teams have got some points on us, but we're going to sort of wipe that off and just go, okay, well, reset tomorrow, light winds. What do we need to do to prepare for that?
Lane Macquarie's Ian Jensen was on board. Maxville are celebrating their first Group 2 win of the season with a thrilling victory over the Grafton Ghosts, the Seagulls narrowly avoiding a draw.
The Ghosts made their intentions clear early, wasting no time splitting the defence.
So Cooper Woods is going to crash over. Ghosts open the account here within 5 minutes.
An early 4-0 statement from Grafton, but the Sea Eagles had the answers.
Great pass on to number 11, which is going to go close. He's going to score.
Samuel Shields locking things up at 4-4 before a massive bust by Rodriguez. and a successful conversion pushed Maxville out to a 6-point lead. Fresh out of the sheds, the Sea Eagles swooped again.
It's Atkins. Atkins over the 20. Atkins over the 10. Atkins is going to score.
Blowing the margin out 16 points to 4. But Grafton refused to go away quietly.
Walters dummies goes himself. Cooper Walters goes bounce back.
A bit of magic from Cooper Walters, keeping the ghosts alive. Moments later, Joseph Borg barged over, seemingly putting the result beyond doubt with a 12-point buffer, before the ghosts struck again.
Marquez dummy half, scoots out, goes himself. Marquez going to get low to the ground. Spins, twist, can he get their ball grounded?
With less than 2 minutes on the clock, a nail-biting finish.
Davis slides through. Reece Davis got one to boot. Reece Davis is going to score.
That try pulled the Ghosts within 2, but heartbreak followed when the conversion was unsuccessful. Maxville hanging on for a thrilling 22 to 20-point victory. Alison Paul, NBN News.
The Bird Rock Surf Classic has returned to Bonny Hills. Crowds were left stunned by a local brother-sister duo who took out the top spots.
16-year-old Avalon Enfield taking out the top gong in the open division of the annual Bird Rock Classic, dominating the field by over 10 points, battling some tricky conditions.
It's always good to get a win, but I gotta say, all the other girls were surfing so well. I was barely landing a turn up now.
Her victory closely followed by that of her older brothers, 21-year-old Cale Enfield, scoring 13.36 for the win.
I knew that any one of them could have got the last score. I made a couple of little errors, but yeah, it's super good.
The victory made sweeter by celebrating with his sister.
I've got 2 younger sisters and 1 older sister, so it was always kind of competing for each other and kind of cheering each other on.
The event also featuring a paddle out before the finals to celebrate the legends who established the region's surf culture.
We've got people sort of from North Haven all the way up to Crescent Head, but people come back from the Gold Coast, Sydney, Western Australia, Tasmania.
I'm surfing for Rory today. He passed away surfing, and so it feels just like it feels really nice to be able to honour Rory.
Established in 1981, the event has come a long way.
The caliber's super hot, longest running competition on the Mid-North Coast. This is the best of the best in the region.
Kate Parsons, NBN News.
The Enfields, they certainly know how to win. They're very good at surfing.
Absolutely, and a good place for a surf too.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Adam. Stay with us. We'll check all your local weather details with Lauren Kempe right after the break.
Celebs, welcome to the Bahamas. 6 famous Aussies thrown. Don't act like food and they won't treat you like food. Into the deep, dangerous heart of fear.
Struggling. We're going to have to abort the dive. Lynn, you okay? Just stay calm.
We've had to medically evacuate her.
The new event series, Shark, starts next on 9.
I say the top is a lonely place, but right now it's the most crowded it's ever been.
The unforgiving fight for immortality.
Standing!
This is where the best on earth collide.
Sensational!
The dreamers against the giants. Every minute is a fight for survival. Australian superstar Mary Fowler is looking to create history. 6 trophies, only on the Stunt Sports.
Today is the day to make the most of every moment.
As if anything's going to hold me back.
Your new day. Baptist Care.
Helping kids will keep you young. Seeing a child grow is special, even for a short time. We support you so you can support them and help a family to come back together.
Get what you really want with the all-new Ford Everest Active 4x4. Value-packed with 12-inch touchscreen, black exterior styling and 18-inch alloys. All from just 60k drive away. Get the Everest Active at participating Ford dealers.
Have you got your $2 tickets yet? Win this Montville masterpiece with a guest retreat, 2 cars and gold. This $6.7 million Marta Prize Home package is pure magic. Hurry, get your tickets now.
Dolly's Dream exists to support kids and families experiencing bullying. Every day, we work with young people, families and communities, giving them the tools they need to feel safe, supported and heard. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. Help us be there for every young person and family experiencing bullying. Just $10 can help create real change. Find out more about how you can help end bullying at dollysdream.org.au.
Every journey is shaped by people, and your path home should be led by people who value community. People like ours. McGrath, guiding you home.
It's the 40 Winks end of financial year sale. Up to 50% off mattresses and up to 30% off furniture, plus an extra 10% off selected products. Shop online or head in store today. Limited time only. Terms, conditions and exclusions apply. 40 Winks. Serious about sleep.
Won't you please help me? Help me.
We've helped Australians for 100 years. Now we're helping protect and prepare them for the next 100.
The clouds finally began to clear after several northern New South Wales spots registered record-breaking May rain, and winter arrived right on cue as well, as those westerly winds finally brought in some long-awaited cool air. Well, Western Australia is being hit by a strong low at the moment, whipping up gale-force winds and dumping heavy showers in the southwest corner. There are also a couple of big totals around far north Queensland and southeastern parts of the continent. An upper-level feature will see this low in the west intensify here, worsening conditions there as it begins to track towards the Bight. And unlike the last, there is a reasonable chance this one will eventually dump at least some snow in southern parts and southeastern parts, elevated areas of Australia. We can expect the low to reach us much later in the week, but hopefully with a little bit less steam. At this stage, only bringing light to moderate rain. It's then set to move offshore around next weekend, squeezed out by a high following closely behind it. It's well and truly cooling off where skies are largely clear overnight, getting down to around 12 degrees in Brisbane before a top of 22. Sydney only just getting up to 19 degrees alongside sunny and mostly stable conditions. And locally today we reached tops of 23 degrees in Grafton, 22 at Yamba, 20 at Cape Byron after a chilly low of just 13 degrees. We'll see light variable winds for most of the day tomorrow, and it is set to remain mostly fine overhead after a cool start, and high pressure keeping things largely settled ahead of this next system. Just slightly cooler temperatures across our region, reaching maximums of 20 at Evans Head after a low of 10 degrees, 19 the top in Lismore, a low of 8 degrees there, and 21 in Murwillumbah. Taking a look at coastal conditions, we have 1.5 metre seas with swell between 1 to 1.5 metres on both the Byron and Gold Coasts, southwesterly winds up to 20 knots. We'll see the high tide tomorrow morning at around 8:30 with the afternoon low just after 2, sun to rise at 6:31 and setting at 4:58. Mostly clear conditions in Tweed tomorrow, 21 degrees the top there, 23 on Tuesday, warming up to 25 on Wednesday, but still those cool nights to enjoy, and then remaining fine, potentially a shower or two this time next weekend. Low to mid-20s the top from Monday through to Thursday in Ballina this week, and then clouds arriving this time next weekend, producing light to moderate showers. Lismore can also expect tops in the high teens to low 20s, and very chilly overnight, potentially a shower or two on Sunday, remaining fine and clear in Grafton, heating up to 24 degrees on Wednesday. And checking out the surf across some of our local beaches today, Gallows on the mid-north coast had some light conditions. Not too much for surfers to enjoy, a little bit messy, but we should see these conditions begin to improve towards the end of the week. So, Jane, some cooler temperatures on the way to kickstart this week.
Winter is almost here. Thank you, Lauren. And that is the NBN News for this Sunday. We'll be back with the national late news tonight at 9:40. Until then, thanks for your company from all the news team here. Good night.